So let's take a look at a sample survey. I always like to start with a project so we can kind of walk through the pieces of it, and you can kind of see where we're going before we jump into the details. So I've got a drawing up here called Site. It's a project I did for Caitlin Stone. The Stone family are good friends. Grandpa and Grandma years ago bought a nice big piece of property just east of town, overlooks the river. They parceled it out to some of their kids. So Caitlin's parents live in this house right here. Grandpa and Grandma lived up above, a little higher. And now Caitlin and Allison and some of the other kids have got these pieces of property, and Caitlin's ready to start building on hers. So the family called and said, hey, would you do the topo for the project, locate the utilities, get the information to the architect? And I was happy to do that for them. So let's just walk through kind of what this job did and get you a feel for it. So first thing I did was I went ahead and I'm going to just go to this point plot drawing here instead, just to kind of simplify what we're showing you, so we're not digging through all the pieces there. First thing is that I went ahead and established an elevation out there. We're not doing any FEMA certificates or anything like that, so I just need to have a benchmark that everyone can use. So I chose this property corner up here. I think it was a nail in the pavement up there, and got an elevation from Google Earth. So everyone knows that we're using an assumed elevation of 52 feet at the northeast corner of the lot. Now, real easy for me to use another benchmark and just translate all of this up or down to match another benchmark if we ever determine we need that. The other thing is that I'm walking around on the sand here. It's pretty steep. So if I've got good elevations within a couple of tenths of a foot, that's as good as we're going to get. Every time I walk, I move the sand. Every time the wind blows, the sand moves. So we're going to be happy with that. Traverse BC doesn't really care what equipment you use when you come out and do this survey. You can be out here with GPS. You can be out here with a robotics level station. It doesn't matter. Whatever you can do to pick up the points. All we need are a few points and their elevations out here to model this. And then let's just talk about the deliverables real quick. Go back to the site survey. I went ahead and said, okay, let's send out a PDF to the family and to the architect. And now they've got something that they can go out and give to the city, to the planning department, to start talking about this project. So as quickly as I can say print, I'm going to use the Traverse PC PDF driver that comes with the program. Traverse PC prints out a PDF of the project, and now I can turn this into Caitlin and the architect, and they go ahead and print this out on 8.5 by 11. Won't be to scale, but it's got the scale on there so they can measure it and come up with whatever they want. Okay, I also went into the file export and wrote just an ASCII file of the entire survey. I picked the format that I want, comma delimited, northing, easting elevation, and then I just said, go ahead and export that. Okay. Overwrite the existing file, send out 72 points. So the architect now has everything. Primarily interested in the utilities, any vegetative features like trees and stuff he has to work around, and then he's got all of my topo points as well. And then the final thing I did was I went ahead and sent this out to DWG files. Let's go ahead and export this. We're going to choose AutoCAD DWG. In the settings, the only thing I need to make sure I turn on are the 3D lines. I don't need that for the surface, but if I have any additional property lines or anything in there like that, I'll want that. Now, the neat thing about writing this out is that Traverse PC is writing out a polyface mesh to AutoCAD. So in addition to the surfaces and stuff that Traverse PC generated, I'm also setting out the model to whoever is getting this. Okay, so they're getting everything that I started out that I have inside of Traverse PC. Here you can see the road. River's just the other side of it here. Now, the great thing about this is that let's go ahead and tell AutoCAD we want to zoom a window here. I now have the ability to come in and work with this in 3D. So here's my 3D surface up here. Everything else in the background is just at 0 elevation because I haven't used elevations on that. It's real easy for me to come in and just turn those off. But here's everything the architect needs now. Now, if I want, I can also come in and turn on the polyface mesh for that. Let's go up to layers here. And let's just clean this up a little bit. Let's turn off the background, turn off the 0 layer. Let's turn off, there we go. I'll leave the property lines on there. And then let's turn on the polyface mesh. Because I want you to see that really quick here. So here is everything that that the architect might want to actually come in and work with that surface. And I want you to see that in addition to the pretty picture from Traverse PC, they're also getting a lot of information about this project in CAD terms. So everything they pretty much need from CAD, they're getting here. Okay,